Hi everyone. Parroting or listening and repeating is a good exercise to improve your learning skill and to improve your interpretation skill. In this presentation and this video, we are going to listen and repeat together. Listen.
There is a saying, don't
There is a saying,
judge a book by its cover.
don't judge a book by its cover.
This tells us that first impressions may be wrong.
This tells us the first impression may be wrong.
Writer Malcolm Gladwell
Writer Malcolm Gladwell
has a different idea.
has a different idea.
In Blink, The Power of Thinking Without Thinking,
In Blink, the power of thinking without thinking,
Malcolm Gladwell argues that first impressions are usually reliable.
Malcolm Gladwell argued that the first impressions are usually reliable.
This is Wednesday Book Talk.
This is Wednesday Book Talk.
Here's critic Hannah Smith.
Here is critic Hannah Smith.
An expert in an art museum
An expert in an art museum
takes one look at a very old Greek statue.
takes one look at a very old Greek statue.
He is suspicious.
He is suspicious.
The museum has just paid millions for this statue.
The museum has just paid millions for this statue.
The first word that he thinks of is fresh.
The first word that he thinks of is fresh.
According to Blink,
According to Blink,
a new book by Malcolm Gladwell,
a new book by Malcolm Gladwell,
whenever this expert takes a look at something new,
whenever this expert takes a look at something new,
he writes down the first word he thinks of.
he writes down the first word he thinks of.
This habit of writing down first impressions
This habit of writing down first impressions
supports the argument of Malcolm Gladwell's book.
supports the argument of Malcolm Gladwell's book.
We often know more than we think we know,
We often know more than we think we know,
and we know it faster than we can explain.
and we know it is faster than we can explain.
That Greek statue, for example,
That Greek statue, for example,
turned out to be about 2,000 years fresher or newer
turns out to be about 2,000 years fresher or newer
than the museum thought.
than the museum thought.
It wasn't really an old statue at all.
It wasn't really an old statue at all.
It was a fake.
It was a fake.
Gladwell says we have two ways we make decisions.
Gladwell says we have two ways we make decisions.
First, we can make decisions slowly
We can make decisions slowly
and carefully with our conscious minds.
and carefully with our conscious minds.
Or we can make decisions very quickly
Or we can make decisions very quickly
and unconsciously,
and unconsciously
or without even thinking.
or without even thinking.
Our unconscious minds are using information
Our unconscious minds are using information
we already know to make judgments within a second or two.
we already know to make judgments within a second or two.
Gladwell's book looks at examples of when our first impressions turn out to be very accurate,
Gladwell's book looks at examples of when our first impressions turns out to be very accurate,
as well as when they do not.
as well as when they do not.
For example, students in college classrooms
For example, students in college classrooms
have very accurate first impressions of instructors.
Have very accurate first impressions of instructors.
In one study, students were shown only several seconds of a videotape of a teacher in the classroom.
In one study, students were shown only several seconds of a video of a teacher in the classroom.
Then they predicted how effective the teacher would be.
Then they predicted how effective the teacher would be.
After only that quick first impression,
After only that quick first impression,
they judged the teacher's effectiveness very accurately.
they judged the teacher's effectiveness very accurately.
They did as well as other students did after an entire term.
They did as well as other students did after an entire term.
In another study, people could tell a lot about a student's character
In another study, people could tell a lot about students' character
just by looking at his or her bedroom for a few minutes.
just by looking at his or her bedroom for a few minutes.
Gladwell also looks at marriages,
Gladwell also looks at marriages,
wars, marketing, and police actions.
wars, marketing, and police actions.
Sometimes our first impression, our ability to make snap
Sometimes our first impression, our ability to make snap
judgments
judgments
is very accurate.
is very accurate.
Sometimes it is very wrong.
Sometimes it is very wrong.
So when should we trust our instincts?
So when should we trust our instincts?
In a section added to the new edition,
In a section added to the new edition,
Gladwell writes about some recent research.
Gladwell writes about some recent research.
This research suggests conscious, careful decision-making, works best for easy choices,
This research suggests conscious, careful decision-making works best for easy choices,
like buying a pot for the kitchen.
like buying a pot for the kitchen.
However, our first impressions are best in difficult situations.
However, our first impressions are best in difficult situations,
When we are handling many pieces of information,
when we are handling many pieces of information.
an example is when a coach is selecting a player for a soccer team.
An example is when a coach is selecting a player for a soccer team.
If you want a book that gets you thinking about how we think, read Blink.
If you want a book that gets you thinking about how we think, read Blink. So this is the text or the passage, and you should write it down, and you can listen and repeat many times. Thank you.